Hey designers, guess what we're going to learn today? Bust cups, and more bust cups. Now let's get into this. All right, so the first method is foam. This is what it looks like. Now we're going to cut the foam pattern from the foam. And we're going to cut the fabric. I chose this fabric because it doesn't shed much. And plus I don't have my pinking shears. I don't really like fabrics that shed. The only one that I like is brocade. Oh my God, I really love brocade. Now here's a little trick. When you're dealing with bust cups, make sure that you mark the fabric on both sides. I tell you this because there's times that you may get confused and you may be on the phone having a nice conversation and got distracted. Then when you come back to the fabric, you're like, is it this way? Or is it this way? Or was it this way? Or that way? I don't even know. See what happens? You get stuck. It looks the same, don't it? So that's why you put a little mark so that you come right back to it just in case you was doing something else and you came back to it and got a little confused. The seam allowance that I use is a 1/2 inch. Most of the time is a 1/2 inch. I do not use 5/8 of an inch. That's mostly for commercial patterns. When you make your own patterns, you usually use a 1/2 inch. Now let's go iron this piece. I want to show you something. This is classy dress form. This company tells you you can use a steam. So you know I'm definitely using a steam for these bust cups all the time. Look how it looks. I really like her shoulder. Now let's get back to sewing. Here is a friendly reminder. Please take the pins out when you're sewing. Do not sew through those pins. I heard stories and I've seen things. It's very dangerous once you sew through them and they pop. They can go anywhere they want to go, in your eye, and I'm not trying to scare you, but I heard some stories. Okay, for the advanced designers, you guys know what time it is. But for the beginners, please be careful. Now let's get back to this. Let's iron this all the way up. This is how the inside looks. Nice and neat. Now we're going to do the foam. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to mark it so that we don't get confused. Sometimes things like this happens. And we're going to sew this together. Zigzag, ladies and gentlemen. Zigzag. We're going to do the top too. This is how it looks. Now we're going to use the binding tape. And that's to cover the zigzag stitch. So we're going to put it on the opposite side, right here. We're going to sew it straight on both sides. Then we're going to do it to the top. This makes it look really pretty. Plus it covers the stitch. This is what it looks like. Now we're going to take the fabric and bring it to the opposite side and sew it 3/8. Once you do that, you flip it back over. So the seam allowance will be 3/8, not a 1/2 inch. The trick to this is the seam allowance. My seam allowance is 3/8. In order for you to use this method, you have to add 3/8 to your seam allowance. This is the fabric pattern. On the top, I put 3/8. I added 3/8 to the seam allowance so that when you turn it over, you can see some of the fabric. You can trim this if you want, but I chose not to. So you put your finger there so you can try to lay it down. And I would suggest only 3/8, no more than 3/8. You can use 1/4 and 3/8. A 1/2 inch will just look tacky. So some people don't even like the 3/8. Some people don't like to show it at all. So they trim it all the way down to 1/8. And this is what it looks like. It's still pretty, but I like it showing some fabric. When you flip the fabric over, the seams, they have to match. So the fabric has to match the foam. And this right here has to be flat. Sometimes it likes to roll over, so what you do is you steam it down. This has to match over here and over here too. Once that happens, then you can sew it 1/4 because your seam allowance is a 1/2 inch. You don't go over 1/4. If you have extra fabric hanging over your foam, then you can cut that piece off. Make sure you steam the top of this so that it lays flat. And this is what it looks like, guys. Now let's get into method 2. This is going to be a little bit different. This fabric is called batting. I'm going to use 2 pieces of it because I like it thick. You can take it apart if you want, but I'd rather not do that. The first thing that you're going to do when you sew this, you're going to sew to the edge so that you can control the batting. You don't want the batting all over the place. You see how it controls it? It's not like sticking out and things like that. So that's the first thing you want to do. Next, you want to sew 1/4 with the edge of your foot. From there, you're going to follow each line 1/4. And you're just going to keep going and going and going. And you're going to ask yourself, is it ever going to stop? I need some music. Give me some wine, something, because this is taking forever. Even though the final result is so pretty. Whoever invented using this type of batting to make bra cups was the best idea. Because for some reason, I like this method better than the first method. Now, the third method I really like too. But there's a difference between the foam and the batting. The foam is thick, but it's not that thick. And the batting, you probably can use like 5 layers. But you would have to steam it down because it will be too puffy. You would have to control the batting because it will be all over the place. And I'm not sure if somebody ever did 5 layers. I think the most that I did was 2. Maybe I would try 3 and see how that works. But I don't think 4 or 5 would be it. I don't think anybody ever tried 4 or 5. I think that would be too much. But I don't know. This method, I really like this method. This is what it looks like. Isn't it cute? Now we're going to zigzag. You guys know what the deal is. Zigzagging. And that's what it looks like. Real pretty. And now we're going to zigzag the top. When you're doing this, be careful. This material does strange things. Make sure it matches. Next up is the binding. You're going to sew 2 straight lines at the edge of the binding so that you can cover the zigzag stitch. You're going to do the same thing for the top. And it looks like this. Do you like it? You can clean up the inside with the threads and stuff like that, but it's not a major problem. But you can clean it up a little bit if you want. Now let's get back to the main fabric. We're going to go right back to marking it so that we don't make no mistakes. We're going to let fabric touch fabric, and we're going to sew it 3/8. Then from there, we're going to flip it over. This is how it looks. Once you flip it over, you make sure that the seams match, and then you sew it 1/4 so it stays in place. Don't forget to seam the top so that it stays flat. And this is what it looks like, guys. This is really pretty. I really like this. Now let's get into method 3. We're going to go right back to this foam. It's going to be made a little bit different. First, we're going to talk about a fabric, which is called FUSIBLE webbing. It's double-sided. It has glue on both sides. This is what you use when you want to make 2 fabrics become 1. So you're going to put it in between the foam and the fabric. Before you use the steam, cut around this. You don't want the hot heat to touch this. It will melt and leave a nasty stain on your iron. So just make sure that it's nice and cut so you don't have that problem. Once you do that, it becomes 1. Same thing for the top. Now we're going to zigzag this part. This is what it looks like. Now let's get to the binding. You're going to cover that zigzag. This method is cute too. For an example, what if you want to have a different material in the inside? You don't want the foam to show. So you put fabric instead. That's what makes it pretty, see? You can't see the foam. It's going to be covered completely. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the main fabric and we're going to flip it over. Once that happens, then you can sew 3/8 on the top and then flip it over. When you flip it over, make sure that that top is flat and all the seams are touching. Then you can sew it all around about 1/4 or maybe less to the edge. So this is what it looks like. You're not going to see the foam is going to be covered with fabric. Isn't that pretty? Okay, designers, let me know which one you like. Did you like method 1, 2, or 3? Leave it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to practice, practice, practice. Bye, guys.